Hey, welcome to this video in which I'll be showing you how to play Sunderer Katarina. So, who am I? I am a 600 LP Grandmaster Katarina OTP. So hopefully this will be helpful to you guys. So, when can you go Sunderer? So basically you can go this any game right now, but it's especially good when they have a lot of AP or they have a lot of CC because it's really strong with Wits End and Merc Treads. And buying MR currently shuts down Katarina way too easily, and Maw is currently broken right now, so this build just lets you just go crazy without that. So some pros for the Sunder build is you can fight any champion after you have Sunder, or even like a little bit before. It's way easier to solo kill your opponent in lane since you start with longsword. It scales pretty well for whatever reason. Like once you have like your wits end, you can just jump in and nuke like entire teams. You're really strong. Like you have really strong item power spikes at like the one item, two item, three items. And you also do hybrid damage, which is really hard to build against. And you also get magic pen from your items. And some cons to playing Sunder Katarina. It is harder to play because it's a different playstyle. If you fall behind, it's really hard to come back unless you maintain a good CS. And team at lower elos may flame your build because they're not used to seeing anything other than AP. And it's a completely different playstyle compared to AP. You can't just full combo. So how do you play Sunder Katarina? So basically, you need to weave in autos between your abilities, and you have to space out your abilities between your Sunder procs. So what this means is that after every ability, you want to wait out that 1.5 seconds to wait so your Sunder comes back up, and then continue using your abilities. And you don't want a full combo like the AP Katarina variation. You also want to max E and play like a bruiser. Like once you have your items, you are basically a bruiser, tank, Irelia, Jax. So now we're in game, and let me show you guys how to actually use your Sunder procs. So basically, what it would look like in lane is, let's say this is a minion. What you want to look for, like ideally, is to Q
No going back.
and to E on top of them, just like that. Oh, my sound. Yep. So you would Q, and like you want to try and land your Q on top of them, and then get your Sunder proc off auto. And after that, it really just depends how much damage you've dealt. So if you haven't done that much first trade, auto, maybe E out like that. Or if you're going for a longer trade, you can go like this. Get your W and E out. Here, let me take this off too. And once you have your Sunder and you're into most matchups, instead of doing this, what you can actually do is just EW on top of them. And because at this point you just don't lose fights. And then also notice another thing you should pay attention to is how I use my auto attacks. Like for example, when I E onto them, I E auto W, right? Then Q auto E auto, and then you can just do that again. Auto E auto. That is really important on Sunder Katarina. And another thing is your ultimate with this build. When you have Sunder, it doesn't actually do that much. So in some situations, you can just use it to stack up your Conquer and then carry on with their combos. But yeah, just make sure to weave in your autos. Auto E, auto. And there's a lot of situations where you're going to actually be in the side lane fighting like a bruiser or something. And that is where we go back to the Q, where you leave that and just keep using your Sunder procs on them. And for every E you do, you better be fitting in an auto like this. Auto. If there's no auto there, you're just not playing this build right.
Ready for trouble?
For ruins, you want to take Conquer, Triumph, Legend Tenacity, Last Stand, and then for your second tree, you usually go Sudden Impact and Relentless Hunter or Treasure Hunter. However, you can change that with the Resolve tree with Second Wind and Overgrowth. And for your other whatever stats, you go 2 adaptive damage and whatever defensive rune you need in that game. For builds, you're looking at Sunder first item And then you want to look for defensive boots, whether it be Merc Treads or plated steel caps. Then you want to build your Wit's End, Randuin's Omen, into Titanic Hydra, and finish it off with Steric's Gauge. However, there are some variations to this build. So after Sunder, you can sit on a Warden's Mail into AD heavy teams, and into AP heavy teams, you can just go the Merc Treads into Wit's End. Something to keep note is that Force of Nature can be bought into lots of AP, as it's really strong right now. And finally, my personal build rating, um, I would give this an 8 to a 9 out of 10. Personally, it doesn't fit my playstyle too much, but it works right now. Just build it for free LP. If you're still building AP right now, yeah, you know what? You're probably below your rank. Because this build is like just perfect for 1v9 carrying games. You can play it at a much higher, like faster pace. You can limit test way more, much more fun. Can kill tanks. You can do those skirmishes in the river with your jungler, and you will just get so many more kills compared to AP. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, be sure to leave in the comments. I will be sure to answer them. And yeah, a subscribe will help out so much. Thank you.